Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Totally Tropical Todd with a Wednesday evening update. So there's some mixed news about what's going on currently. First, let me give current conditions. Currently, we're at Category 3, Category 4, with Milton still sitting offshore, and but you can see this wind field here that pretty much most of the state right now is experiencing tropical storm winds. That's this big shield here, and then if you move inward to the bullseye, this green area here is more of the 59-mile-an-hour winds and up, and then 74-mile-an-hour winds here in the orange. The wind field has grown significantly. You see how massive this is. The track has moved a little bit more back to the north towards Orlando, towards Tampa again. And let me explain a little bit why that is. For those who don't follow, I'm not a big Fox News fan, but Brian Norcross he's very trustworthy. And one of the things that, if you look at here, that he's pointing out, the 4 p.m. forecasted position for the storm was right here, and the 4 p.m. actual position is further north and further east, so closer to landfall. So the storm is moving faster than it was originally projected, and it's also curving more towards the north. So looking back at this, so what's basically happening is the storm right now is moving towards the north, along the coast here, and then we have upper level winds that are coming in off of the Gulf that are going to steer this suddenly towards the east. So the actual track is not going to follow this black line, but more of like a hook. So this storm is continuing to move to the north, and then it's going to hook to the east or to the right at some point. Where that point happens is going to be incredibly important for Tampa. So let me take a look at a different map, a little bit easier to see. Let me turn off those wind streams. So if the track, so currently you could see the storm is moving towards the north. If you follow the pattern of what's happened, right? It's moving basically in this direction here, and at some point it's going to hook over. And if the worst case scenario for Tampa would be is if this continues to move further north and then it turns and hits like Clearwater, because then the winds coming on the south side of the storm will help drive the storm surge into Tampa Bay, and that's kind of the worst case scenario for Tampa. If the eye goes right over Tampa Bay, then it gets a little more complicated, where first the winds are pushing things one direction and then another, and so what actually happens will be a lot more complicated. If it goes to the south of Tampa Bay, not as bad. Now, not as bad still means you could get 10-foot storm surges. If it goes just north of Tampa, we could be getting 15+ foot storm surges, which would be devastating. Not that 10 feet wouldn't be, but the exact track that this takes is going to be incredibly important for the Sarasota, Tampa Bay area here. So we're watching this very closely, and you can see also the track is not quite on that I-4 corridor, but it's certainly a lot closer to it than it was the last time I showed you guys earlier. So pay close attention, and please stay safe. I'll show you the current satellite is right there. So show you in regards to the state. This is where this thing is sitting, and you can see the enormous size of it, right? Pretty much covering a big portion of, this thing is basically covering all of Florida. We're getting some weather here in South Florida. It's actually, I hate to say it, it's kind of beautiful out. It's very windy, but this nice continuous wind, tropical winds that are actually, it's nice and cool and not exactly sunny out, but it does feel good outside. It's kind of the calm before the storm, if you will. So please stay safe, and I'll keep you guys updated as more news breaks.